One time. 185. Please, please, please.
Nice.
Oh my god, a 190 lightning egg. 190 lightning egg. Ooh, a 185 fire egg. Nice.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ascended One here with Ascended Gaming, and I'm so excited because this video is finally done. I've been working on how to raise wyverns for a long time, and today I finally get to show you what I've been working on. But before that, I just want to announce that we are going to be giving away 2 fresh 190 lights from this raise, and all you guys got to do is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and just let me know down in the comments what dragon that you guys want, the black one or the purple one. The black one's got great melee, the purple one's got great health, and we will be announcing the winners 1 week from today. But without further ado, let's get to the dragon raise video. Alright, so we're going to start this video in the incubation chamber. I did want to start this video by showing you guys how exactly I farmed all of these eggs out of the scar, because these are all about 150 plus, and there's a lot of 190s and 180s, and I wanted to show you guys how we went about doing that. But this video is already about half an hour, so I promised to you guys before we announce the winners of the dragons, I will show a video on how exactly we farm it, because there is a technique and there is a strategy.
Oh my god, a 190
so
lightning
for right
egg.
now, let's talk about the incubation
egg.
phase. Now, I always recommend you guys use the air conditioners. Using the torches can work, but you will find problems with them being too hot or too cold. And when the dragons do hatch, they can actually walk on top of the torches, and it can burn them, and they might actually die. So always use the ACs, and I definitely want to say incubate your eggs in advance, because once they start to hatch, things get crazy and you want to be well slept. So always incubate in advance. And when they start to hatch, by the way guys, look at that 190 all black. That is beautiful, is it not? But anyways, as soon as they hatch, put the imprint down, disable the wandering, and set the follow range down to low, because once you want to start to move them, if they're on medium or high, it can be really hard. So I would definitely recommend hatching around 10 or 15 at a time, because you definitely don't want to do all 50 at once. That can get crazy. Even hatching 10 or 15 is a little nuts, but it is manageable, and you definitely want to kind of get them on roughly the same time for feeding. So once the first 10 or 15 hatch, start throwing down some more eggs and get ready for the next ones. Alright, so once you have a moment in between everything hatching and everything going, once you guys have a free moment, start dragging all of your dragons outside and putting them into a line. You are going to want a huge space, because they might be small now, but we all know how big they really get. So once you have a moment, start bringing them outside as fast as you can, because soon enough it's going to be ready. They're going to be hungry, and you know what time it is? It's going to be time for going on the dragons and doing the milk runs, because you got 50 dragons. You guys got to get them into a line and get them ready to go. So here's a bunch of poisons and a bunch of fires, and boom! That's what we're hoping for right there. Triplets! So we got some triplets there. I think we got a couple sets of twins. Roughly, I think I counted 47 dragons on my first pass, but my girlfriend counted after that, and she counted 53. So we're roughly gonna go at about 50 here. So as you can see, they're outside in a single line. They're manageable. You can see kind of the stats, because it's time to go, guys. So time to go on a milk run. Now I live by Greenob, and it's kind of a long trek, so I like to go over the top of the map outside of render range, and it's pretty smooth. And it's pretty cool enough on one of my first milk runs for the raise, my alliance member Breezy from Desert Rain, shooting off some fireworks. We're having a lot of fun, about to dip into the scar for one of the first milk runs. Now guys, this is where it can get really dangerous, because high risk, high reward. So what you want to do is always have a spyglass and a gas mask, guys. And a gas mask. Say it with me, guys. Gas mask. Because if you run into a poison, it's pretty much the only way that you can die. So right here, I'm just taking out my spyglass. I'm looking to see a low level female, emphasis on the low level, and I'll explain to you guys later why. But as soon as you see one, just get its attention and start flying out of the scar. Now this one was level, what, 15 or something? It's perfect. Just get its attention and we take it over to our pre-made trap. Now I wanted to explain to you guys how to make a dragon trap, but once again, this video is long enough, but I promise in the future I will be uploading how to make a perfect trap. Now this one is from my alliance, the Last of the Furians. Big shout out, guys. I love their trap. So I'm just gonna drag it over really slowly. And this, you guys, don't panic here. This is where you definitely want to take your time. And you're just gonna fly low, fly slow, park right behind it, thread the needle every single time. Now if you're on a lightning dragon, you definitely want to be trapping a lightning, because obviously it can't hurt you. Now right here I'm being super cautious, because actually I just had a close call not too long ago, so I'm looking around, because the last thing you want to do is start tranking a dragon and a sandworm comes at you. So you just want to look around, make sure everything's good, make sure you have your salts on you. We got lots of trank arrows, you want to be ready. So we're going to look around here, and then we're going to start knocking it out. Now I would definitely recommend always shooting for the head, because that's how you get maximum torpor, and it'll take less arrows in the long run and less time. So we're just going to take our time here, knock it out at a good distance. Make sure you're very far away, because guys, if you get touched by that lightning, you can die almost instantly. It's absolute death. So here, just take your time. Now we're gonna run over to it, grab our milk, because we've made sure that it is a female. We're gonna grab the 5 milk, put it in the inventory, maybe shoot another trank dart into it so it doesn't wake back up. Unlike me, I forgot here, and yeah, it wakes up, but it's no worries. Now you obviously always want to kill your dragons afterwards, so in case somebody else tries to grab milk and there's no milk, it can be really annoying. So it's always courteous to kill the wyvern afterwards. But if you're on an RG, obviously don't kill it, just get out of there and grab your milk. I will be doing another video on how to get milk in the RG. Now, since we're raising 50 dragons, guys, it can get a little dicey. We need some milk, so you can actually trap 2 at a time. But make sure when you're doing this, if they're at a different level, it will take a different amount of trank darts. So you just kind of want to balance it out with the correct amount, and hopefully knock them both out at the same time. So you can grab 10 milk instead of 5, which obviously is twice as much. Boom, got him right at the same time. It actually doesn't get any better than that. That's picture perfect. So once again, make sure you have your salt on you. Grab the milk. Maybe shoot an extra trank dart in them, because you know, last thing you want for them is to wake up on you again. So grab the milk. We got 10 there. Pretty happy with that. And I have to mention that it's definitely going to be a balance of finding the milk for imprinting. I say the imprinting milk are the ones for 5. But normally we are going to be trying to find the alpha dragons to get the 50. And in this one here, my friend was actually already over at the scar. Big shout out to Anne from Last of the Furians. And we actually trapped our females both at the same time. Pretty convenient. And I gotta say, guys, it's always good to have an alliance member. It's always good to have a tribe. They can have your back on things. So right here, this is going to be a classic run into the Scar. Now, I don't just look for milk, guys, because where's the fun in that? I like to maybe try and find some eggs along the way, because when you're first get into the Scar, you always want to be looking for that alpha, because we got 50 dragons. That's a lot of mouths to feed. So before I go and grab a female, I will fly through the entire Scar looking for an alpha dragon. But on the way, I mean, might as well try and find a couple eggs, right? You know, it's not just about raising dragons. We're gonna need some more eggs for maybe a future raise. So once again, I'm gonna be releasing a full video on how to farm the Scar very shortly, so stay tuned for that. So as you can see right there, there was an egg there, but there was a poison dragon, and getting the dragon eggs is not our first priority. So when things get kind of dicey, you can just bounce and keep moving on, because guys, we are just trying to find that alpha. The babies are hungry and we got to find it. So just take your time, fly through the Scar, give it a thorough check. And boom, there it is, guys. That's what we're looking for, that alpha dragon. We're going to want to take our time here, guys. Grab its attention. Now, one thing with the alphas that sometimes when you kill them, they may not drop their milk. Like your dragon may not grab all the milk for the inventory, and you can lose the bags a lot. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. It's happened to me. So the first thing I do is grab that alpha and bring it on top of the sand, because if it does drop a bag, you wanted to easily see it on top of the sand and grab all the milk, because you do not want to lose 50 milk when you're counting on it. So here, obviously, guys, with the gas mask, say it with me, guys, gas mask, because if you are gonna die in the Scar, you do not want the reason to be because I didn't have my gas mask. It is painful, so I've learned just to bring one. It is always worth it. So here I'm just gonna take my time and kill this alpha. There's the poison, it's gone. Oh, there's another one actually, never mind. It's gone. And now it's alpha killing time. Alright, so it's almost dead now, and I really wanted to show you guys how long it actually takes and how tough these alphas really are, because they can take a beating. And that was only what, a level 30 there, guys. So if you do happen to run into a level 100 plus, it's going to be very scary, and you need to be very careful, because we are trying to raise dragons, not kill them the last time I checked. So we're looking for the bag, or we're looking for the milk. Once we got it, it's back to the babies, guys. So once we have them all into a line, we want to start checking who needs to be fed. In the beginning of the raise, you have to be checking almost non-stop, because the last thing you want to do is forget about one, because they can actually die pretty quickly, and you really need to see who needs to be fed. So you're just going to keep walking up and taking a look, and if you see one a little bit low, just give it a milk. They're not exactly ready for the troughs yet, but we're not exactly going to use the troughs to later on in the race, and I'll explain later why. Or why don't I just explain right now? It's because the milk actually give 1,200 food to your dragon. And so let's say that your dragon holds 2,000 food. If your dragon is at 900 food, it won't actually take the milk out of the trough. So in the entire feed, it may actually be skipped, and your dragon's left there with 900 food, and that is not a lot. So you have to be checking until they can hold around 3,000 food. So even if they don't eat, they're still holding around 1,800, maybe 1,800 plus, and that can still be a long time in between feedings. But until they are ready, it's all about checking, rechecking. I mean, I really got to emphasis on the checking, guys. It's a lot of checking. It's a lot of standing around, looking at your milk, looking at the timers on the milk. When you do get milk from an alpha dragon, it's always better to transfer by typing it in, because it is a lot faster. And if you get an alpha dragon which is 50 milk, it can fill almost 2 1/3 preserving bins. And always make sure that you have the spark powder, the salts in your preserving bins to have maximum time on the milk, because I think your milk spoils regularly in your inventory roughly 8 minutes. It's like 40 minutes in the dragon, but if you can get your milk to the preserving bin, it can be around 2 to 3 hours. I think if I do a flawless run, it's around 2 hours and 40 minutes, which isn't too bad. So you definitely always want to have your salts to have maximum time for the dragons. Here I actually have a storage bin full of salts, just in case I see some of them that are running low. Always keep a couple hundred in there, because this is a 4-day raise and it does take a while. And the last thing you want to do is have all of your milk spoil and you're tired and you got to go do another milk run. Alright guys, so once again, it's really just all about checking the milk, checking the timers, and making sure that all of your timers are good on the milk. I'd say once you have around an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes left on the milk, it's time to go out and do another milk run for sure, because the last thing you want to do is have the imprinting there and there's no milk for it. It's best to stay ahead of schedule instead of behind, because sometimes even when you are ahead of schedule, things can go a little bit south and you can be in kind of a hurry for the milk. So you definitely always want to be ahead of schedule 100% of the time. And I promise, if you guys stay on top of the milk, it's really going to be a great raise, and you're really not going to feel the crazy experience of 50 dragons. It's really going to be calm. Just stay calm, have fun, and stay collected, and make sure that all of your ducks are always in a row, because you guys, there's 50 of them and you can lose it quick. So right here, guys, I got one of the best alliances ever, because they found the alpha dragon, because we are all raising at the same time. So we just got the alpha. We're gonna walk up. I'm gonna let Anne take as much milk as she needs, and then I'm gonna take the rest back to the dragons. And this is really why it's really good to have alliances, because if you raise dragons at the same time, you can actually help each other out. So right now, Anne has gone to bed for the night, but I said that I would stop by, because if they help me, I'm going to help them. So I'm just going to grab some milk from an alpha that I found and drop it off in their trough. Secret pin code, I can't show you guys that. Of course not. Here, I'm just gonna walk in, put the milk in the trough, so everybody can get some sleep and everyone's happy. Look at all these dragons. They're gonna be monsters. Now it's back to our dragons. So I actually built two more preserving bins closer to the dragons, because every time that they needed imprinting on the milk, I didn't want to run back and forth. So I just put one closer, so I can just run up and grab the milk and do the imprinting. I really don't know why I'm holding an axe right now. I look like I'm gonna kill some of my dragons, but I assure you that that's not gonna happen. I'm just walking around. I'm checking for milk. Once again, they aren't holding a lot of food, so even if they need roughly like 900 food or 1,000, I don't mind force feeding them a bottle of milk, and they're not going to get the full 1,200 food, but still getting 1,000 is the difference between, you know, an hour or 2 hours time. So it's definitely worth it to walk around and force feed and not. Another point that I really need to mention is that when you do find an alpha dragon, I mean, that is 50 milks, and there's no way that you are gonna need that much imprinting milk. So even when you put the milk into the trough, even if the dragons won't drink all the milk right away, make sure that you go up and force feed it to them, because in this kind of dragon race, we never let a milk go unspoiled, because every milk is absolutely essential and can really make the difference. Alright, so now that all the dragons are happy, they're healthy, they're imprinted, it's time to go back to the scar and get some more milk and stay ahead of schedule. But now that we have a little bit of extra time, we might as well just maybe try and find some more dragon eggs, maybe do a little bit of leveling up, because I'm actually going to do another video on how I got to level 105 the fastest, and it has a lot to do with the scar, finding dragon eggs, and kicking butt. So right here, I'm finding a dragon egg. Notice once again, guys, the gas mask. Let's say it with me, guys. Gas mask. Because I have died too much by poisons. I can't be seeing one more person die without a gas mask on. And it is great for the power leveling here. I can just take the egg, go into a nest, and just wait for all the action to happen. So let's sit back and watch the saucy Duchess go to work. Woo! Look at the carnage! And this is what happens when you hatch so many dragons. You can really just kind of pick the best one and just go to work. The saucy Duchess still unremained. Last one goes down, and while you're trying to find your milk, you maybe even might find an alpha death worm. Time for some dinner. Alright, that's enough fun, guys. Let's get back to the action, get back to the dragons. That's enough killing. It's more time for raising. So right here, guys, I just want to really talk about the importance of preserving salts. Preserving salts are really your best friend throughout this entire raid. You are always going to want to have a bunch of preserving salts. I made a bunch of the vessels to store the salts in. You want to have it handy. And once you're out, just make a whole bunch more, because once again, the last thing that you want to do is put all of your milk away and then it spoils because you didn't have the salts. You want to be checking timers. Just really take the time to make the salts and put it back into the vessels. Once the salts are all full, guys, you know what time it is. Back to the scar, trying to find some more milk. There it is, guys. Best case, when you walk in the scar and there it is. Grab that alpha, go get the milk. So, but guys, we already covered this. We know what to do. What do we gotta do? Drag him to the sand. We want to make sure when we kill him that milk is ours 100% of the time. So, once again, I want to say that the last time that we killed the alpha, all we did was hover above the sand, and that can get a little tricky if the alpha is at a very high level. It can get really scary, so you can just trap it like the other ones. And if you're on a fire dragon and you are good to go, it cannot damage you at all. You can just bite the tips of the wings and you will take no damage and you can still get all the milk. So right now, it's alpha biting time. Alright, so we gotta go up, grab the milk. Once again, make sure that we have the salts. As soon as we get back on the dragon, transfer the milk back to the dragon because it will make a longer time. Boom, we head back to the base. It's time for more imprints and more feeding. Now guys, this is a big part of the raise that we really haven't talked about yet, but that is the imprinting, because that is one of the most important parts. It can really make the difference between having a 50% and 100%. It can make the difference between a great and your favorite wyvern for sure. So with so many dragons, it can be really hard. Mostly I would stand in the middle on top of a rock and look for the little emoji thingy. But mostly it's about walking back and forth. You have to stay on top of the timers. Now we have done a raise where we were on top of every single timer almost to the second, and if you hit all the timers exactly, you can hit roughly about 7 extra hours of unused time, where you can actually imprint twice at 0%. So you get roughly 7 hours. So you don't have to be exactly on the timers every second, but you're definitely gonna want to make sure that you are walking back and forth and you are on the timers roughly 10-15 minutes tops, and over time you can still stay way above the mark and get that 100%. because it is so important. With 100%, you get 120 movement speed right off the top, and all of your stats just get insanely boosted. So there I am there on top of my rock, just grabbing some more milk. We're almost getting to the end of the race here because they're getting pretty big, guys. So now I'm using the trough. It's a lot easier. Boom, put it in there. See who's eating, who's not. So only a few of the milk got a drink there, so I'll take the rest. Go to another trough. I'm walking around. Oh man, that 190 black really came out nice. Here all it does is want to walk, so we're gonna give it the imprint. There we go. That one didn't want to walk very far. I love that dragon for that reason. So it's just about more imprinting, walking around. I know I say let's just walk around, check for imprinting, check for milk a lot, but really guys, that is what the 4-day dragon race is about. It's 4 days. It's long. It seems long, and you really want to be on top of those timers in the beginning, because by about day 3 and day 4 you can get a little tired. So while you are fresh and feeling good, you want to be on top of things and doing your absolute best. But I promise you, once you are finished your huge dragon race, you are going to be so happy. You are going to have so many more dragons to fly, so many more dragons for trading. I'm actually going to be uploading another video on how I go about trading all my dragons for all the items that I want and have in the game. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that video, because I'm really excited about that one as well. So here guys, once again I'm walking around, I'm checking salts, I'm checking timers, I'm checking milks, I'm grabbing imprinting. Alright guys, so we're getting close to the end of the dragon race here, just going around making sure that all the imprints are 100%, everyone's fed, everyone has been looked after. And I gotta say guys, this has been quite a journey. I mean, 4 days, this was a lot of fun. I wanted to definitely record and do the best I could to show you guys how to raise all of your dragons, because I want everybody to have a 190 of their own. And if you guys really enjoyed this video, please once again hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you enter in the contest. Just put a comment with the hashtag melee or hashtag health, and if you subscribe and press the like button, then you are entered, and I will once again be doing that draw in 1 week from today. And until then, I'm going to be uploading tons of more content. I gotta say, I love this game so much, and the content is going to be coming. I'm really inspired to really produce the best content I possibly can. And I'm so excited here because we did this dragon race. Every single one of them got 100%ed. I gotta say, maybe the hardest part of this race, there was probably a 10-hour span there where we could not find one alpha. It was really hard, but we just went into the scar, grabbed a female for five milks, or maybe even 10 milks, and that kept up on the imprinting. And they were getting kind of low on health, but boom, then we went back into the scar, we got the alpha, and everything was smooth sailing. Sometimes we would go into the scar, we would find an alpha, and then 20 minutes later find another alpha, another hour later find another alpha. And I mean, when those things are topped up with 8,000 food and you have milk in the preserving bins, as long as you're having a lot of fun and really enjoying what you are doing, this can definitely be a beneficial experience. So there's the overview of the base, and what better off than to finish off with some fireworks, guys. So I just want to say that I definitely I love you guys. I had a great time shooting this video. I want to say good luck to everybody who did participate in the draw happening in 1 week for these 2 free 190 lights. Maybe share this video with a tribe member, because I do not have a lot of subscribers, so your chances of winning are great. So once again, Ascended One signing off. Remember guys, don't just survive, but thrive.